when we talk to policymakers, and we hear it from policymakers, the biggest threat to the U.S. Dominance and really the U.S. economy is the growing U.S. deficit. And we're on an unsustainable path. And I think almost everybody in markets agrees. And the numbers are staggering. And there is now a very ambitious effort to try to formulate some sort of plan to contain either the growth of government spending or even cut government spending, which is DOGE. And it's led by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. This, to me, harkens back to several chapters of the Truman biography I read by David McCullough, which talks about Truman's work during World War II. And I don't know if it's as widely appreciated, but he formed a committee called the Truman Committee. And the reason it was formed was that during the early days of World War II, the U.S. government couldn't afford to spend on military spending to fund World War II, which was to support the Allies. So the U.S. was borrowing a lot of money. But what the U.S. also found was that the companies supplying the U.S. were actually either providing inferior parts, overcharging. The Truman Committee was formed, no executive powers. Truman brought in 7 senators, and the only real tool they had was public radio, where they could embarrass companies using the public airwaves. And as a result of the Truman Committee, the U.S. saved over as much as $15 billion. There were numerous examples that the Truman Committee found, whether it was defective engine parts leading to planes crashing, overcharging for steel. And he is widely credited for allowing the U.S. to actually fund World War II without going bankrupt. So he was the original Doge, and he accomplished all this without any real executive powers, but just a public pulpit. Will Doge be able to achieve the same thing? I don't know. I am concerned that part of this process will be the public airing of examples of government waste, which could be very embarrassing for companies, but it could also become very divisive because it may embarrass companies. It could anger people. And I don't want to be alarmist, but look at what happened when someone got very angry at healthcare insurers. Unfortunately led to the assassination of a CEO. Could something like this happen if Doge exposes a lot of government waste? I don't know. So to me, I think it's a very noble undertaking, and I think it hopefully is bipartisan. I don't know how effective it's going to be, but if it's too effective and it leads to a slowdown in government spending, it actually could be contractionary.
Nvidia is making waves in technology circles as it embarks on an ambitious journey into the expansive world of robotics. This visionary step signifies a monumental shift for Nvidia, as it seeks to diversify and expand its avenues for growth beyond its core competencies in artificial intelligence chip production. As the company finds itself maneuvering through an intensely competitive landscape where formidable entities such as AMD and Amazon pose significant challenges, Nvidia is boldly charting new territory. Building robust alliances within the robotics domain, Nvidia's impressive valuation has reached the remarkable milestone of $3 trillion, putting it in the illustrious company of industry titans like Apple amidst the swirling currents of the AI revolution. Nvidia is carving out its niche as a physical AI investor by championing humanoid robotics ventures, such as the innovative Figure AI. However, there's much more to this unfolding story. An imminent upheaval in the robotics market could herald a tech revolution like never before. Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy.
In simplistic terms, over time, as AI becomes both physically automated and then generative and PhD level, I think it really risks replacing the benefit of human labor. There's many books, including The Coming Wave, that really talk about the risks of AI that's unbounded. And one thing I am just supposing that even in a world of, let's say, financial markets, if it was dominated by AI, in a world where more decisions are made by AI than humans, I think that you're going to end up with a lot of cheating and a lot of spoofing, because that deception is a very high return on investment activity versus being smart and identifying an inflection before anyone else does. And so I think unless there is, I would call ethical bounds on AI, I think that, it'll be easier to rob a bank than to try to make money and to earn capital. So I'm being extreme. So I think that over the next few years, I'm not sure, whether or not it's going to ultimately be good for markets. However, if I look at where companies could actually leverage AI the most, I think it's going to be in cases where you don't have productive output by employees. And I think that one easy measure is look at market value of a stock divided by the number of employees, because it's a measure of how human intensive a company is.
Nvidia's plunge into the robotics realm is akin to preparing the stage for a grand theatrical spectacle full of daring and drama. As rivals like AMD and tech behemoths such as Amazon dabble in self-sufficient chip production, Nvidia takes a bold detour, electing to anchor its future growth on the potential of robotics. Navigating the stock market often mirrors a voyage through the cosmos, teeming with stars and the lurking threats of black holes. In this celestial dance, Nvidia's strategy involves supporting humanoid robotics initiatives, exemplified by companies like Figure AI, and extending its technical expertise to robotic visionaries like Aptronik, working alongside Alphabet's Google DeepMind. The fervor surrounding Nvidia isn't just hot air. There's substantial groundwork supporting this excitement. Financial connoisseurs, including Morgan Stanley's Joseph Moore, spotlight AI-powered PCs, self-driving vehicles, and breakthrough robotics as essential revenue streams for the future. Nvidia's prospects appear especially promising, reinforced by declarations from Nvidia's Vice President of Robotics, who foresees an impending ChatGPT moment for robotics. A massive leap in technological advancement that could redefine the industry akin to breakthroughs seen in AI. But before going on with the video, are you into cryptocurrency? If so, check out our second channel, Investocracy Crypto. We bring you breaking news, expert analysis, and the latest trends in the fast-moving world of digital assets. Whether you're a seasoned crypto investor or just curious about the future of finance, we've got something for you. Click the link in the description to subscribe to Investocracy Crypto now. Don't miss out and stay ahead of the game. Now, let's get back to the video.
It's wild how fast this past month has gone. Nvidia, though, to shift gears here and look at a name that's actually moving positive in a sea of red, especially for the tech names. Actually, this is our only tech name that's currently still in green territory, modestly so. Nvidia's up 0.6%, our third best performer in the S&P 500 to close out this year. Walk us through what you're seeing here with Nvidia.
Not surprising. We've seen this trade over the last month or so when a lot of the Mag 7 names were hitting all-time highs, and Nvidia still down 10% off its all-time highs from the end of November. So it's still in correction territory at this point, but now we're seeing a little bit of pullback in a lot of those Mag 7 names, and Nvidia getting a little bit of a boost. I think one of the catalysts, and maybe why, we're seeing some unusual option activity in there on the call side in Nvidia also, is January 6th at the CES conference in Vegas that Jensen Huang is going to give a keynote address. January 6th. Mark that down in your calendars as a potential big catalyst for Nvidia. Jensen Huang's usually pretty upbeat and talking about demand for the Blackwell chip and then their Hopper chips also, which are basically sold out at this point.
As the global robotics market, which currently boasts a valuation of $78 billion, is expected to soar to $165 billion by 2029. According to BCC, Nvidia's calculated moves are far from capricious. During its conference in March, CEO Jensen Huang unveiled robots augmented with Nvidia's revolutionary chips, heralding a new era where Nvidia furnishes the essential technology backbone for robotics, similar to how Google invented Android as a universal operating system for smartphones. This is a strategic masterstroke, a monumental pivot heralding a tidal shift in the robotics domain, fueled by a surge in generative AI models and robots baptized in the virtual environments. Nvidia's course signals not merely a tipping point crossing, but a strategic leap, reminiscent of Icarus's flight, but with a vision to ascend rather than falter. The skyward trajectory of Nvidia's stock, soaring by an astounding 185% this year, brilliantly reflects investor faith in Nvidia's forward-thinking approach. Visionaries such as Citi's Atif Malik anticipate that Nvidia's profit margins will resurge post-April 2025 as it delves further into the fertile grounds of AI robotics, encompassing industries and humanoid applications alike. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
The stock's still up 178% this year, Jenny, so it's had a good run, even though it's off 10% from those highs that we saw. Also, some news today that ByteDance, they were going to try to buy up to $7 billion worth of Nvidia chips outside of China. Remember, there's those restrictions that these Chinese companies cannot buy the high-end Nvidia chips. So that was maybe a positive causing the stock to go up here a little bit. But I looked at a strategy that takes advantage of capturing that CES keynote that Jensen Huang is going to deliver. I went out to the January 10th month or weekly cycle. That's about 11 days to expiration. You're going to capture that talk from Jensen Huang, where I'm going to buy something, but offset some of my costs. It's a bullish trade, but it's a vertical. I'm not buying just a straight call. I'm buying a vertical to offset some of my costs and risk on this bullish trade. January 10th, buy the 137 strike call. It's basically at the money. It's got the higher delta. It reacts more like the stock. And then against it, sell the 147 call. So a bullish $10 wide call vertical to the upside that takes advantage of a move higher. If you pay on this $10 wide bullish call vertical, you paid about a $3.80 debit. There's your risk, $380. That can expand to $10 if the stock goes above 147 over the next week and a half here. Your break even on this one where you start profiting at expiration, $140.80. That's only about 2% above the current share price. So you don't need a monster move to the upside.
As Nvidia unfurls its grand ambitions in the realm of robotics, the landscape of potential investment opportunities appears richly promising. Guided by a clear strategic vision and backed by strong predictive insights, Nvidia stands at the frontier, poised for significant expansion within the burgeoning robotics sector. The extraordinary 185% spike in Nvidia's stock this year speaks volumes about its enviable market standing and the unwavering trust placed in its ventures into robotics and AI. With predictions forecasting tremendous growth, especially leading up to 2029, Nvidia transcends its identity as a mere tech entity, transforming into a living narrative of innovation and strategic dynamism. Whether you're a discerning investor evaluating Nvidia's future or a keen follower of the broader story of technological evolution, what are your perspectives on Nvidia's audacious leap into robotics? Are you convinced by their journey towards a future dominated by physical AI innovations? Share your thoughts, and may your investments be as promising and rewarding as Nvidia's exciting path forward. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.